So, hello everyone, welcome to Candidate Spotlight. Today we have all the candidates contesting for the post of PG Senator. So, let's start with Navya. The question: you propose creating co workspace areas in PG hostels to improve productivity. Considering space constraints and hostel regulations, how do you plan to coordinate with hostel administration to make this practically achievable?
So we PG students, we require specialized places to form collaborative research or any ideas. For this, we are going to use the underutilized areas like the common areas, the sports rooms, and they have time restrictions that in certain times they are not used. So these areas they can be repurposed into used by these PG people to. So we're going to collaborate with the hostel administration by we're going to have a pilot program we're going to implement in the 1-2 hostels by using a data entry book, and who are going to use it, they're going to entry into these data books, and we are going to have a written regulatory notice which is going to be put on front, and people who are going to use it, they're going to enter into the books, and these are going to be collected, and we are going to review it before we're going to escalate into other hostels, and we're going to collaborate with the hostel HAB and other boards to use these areas, because we have restriction of in the security for certain reasons we cannot use it beyond certain time, and the all these we're going to make it. So all these we are going to have a collaboration, and we're going to make it into a effective way. So the data entry review books, we are going to make it a better plan by implementing in the 1-2 hostels, and then we are going to escalate into other hostels.
Okay, next question for Mithun. You mentioned improving campus medical support through better consultations and a feedback mechanism. What kind of structured system would you introduce to ensure student feedback actually leads to measurable improvements in the campus healthcare services?
So many of the students don't know currently that there is a student feedback system in the One Stop app for hospital and pharmacy related facilities. But as have observed in the apps, the feedback form is very basic. It's like we have to select a particular doctor name or a particular facility name, and we have to give a description of the feedback. It's not like how our academic feedback works. Like in our academic feedback, we have professor names and we have questions particularly, and we have options to choose from, like is it good, bad, very good, or average. We have these options. But the same system we can apply to hospital related, any related feedback also, so that the students are more encouraged to give feedback because it is more simple. We will have a separate dialog box for briefly describing the particular any other issues. But if we have a generalized feedback so that we can ask questions and we can get an answer immediately, so then the students will be more willing to be giving a feedback, and we can use that feedback effectively for improving the facilities, like maybe it be doctor consultations or maybe treatments. If we know that a doctor is not treating properly, or the treatment he proposed has not, like a student has not been good, if he has if he has not been treated properly, or his condition is not improved, then we can use that data and we can improve the hospital facilities.
Okay, next question for Rupesh. You have proposed installing 24 by 7 photocopy machines in hostels along with an online reimbursement tracking system. How do you plan to coordinate with hostel administration and ensure that such a system remains efficient and properly maintained?
ओके सो सो हम ये करेंगे कि पहले एक डेजिग्नेटेड एरियाज होंगे जिसको रिसर्च करके ढूंढा जाएगा, जहाँ पे हम इनको इंस्टॉल कर सकते हैं, जैसे कि रीडिंग रूम्स हो गए, कॉमन रूम्स हो गए। फिर हम ये करेंगे कि हॉस्टल्स को टारगेट करेंगे, जैसे कम ऑक्यूपेंसी वाले हैं, पहले उनमें स्टार्ट करेंगे कि हम फोटोकॉपी मशीन्स इंस्टॉल कर दिए। तो फिर वहाँ से डाटा कलेक्ट होगा कि कितने लोग यूज़ कर रहे हैं, रात के समय में कितना यूज़ कर रहे हैं, दिन के समय में कितना यूज़ कर रहे हैं। उससे एक डाटा मिलेगा, उससे हमें पता चलेगा कि बड़े हॉस्टल्स में 2 मशीन लगाने की ज़रूरत है या नहीं है। एंड देन वी विल हैव अ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट विद एनुअल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट विद वेंडर्स, सो दैट उसका मेंटेनेंस सही से टाइम पे हो सके, टोनर्स की कमी ना हो, पेपर्स की कमी ना हो। देन वी विल यूज QR कोड्स जिसकी लिंक होगी, जिससे हम ये कर सकते हैं कि प्रॉपर फीडबैक मिलता रहे, ताकि लोग कभी खराब हो जाए मशीन्स तो फीडबैक के जरिए वो अपना इश्यूज बता सकें. थैंक यू.
Okay, next question for Abhijit. You propose acting as a proactive intermediary between research scholars and the administration to address hostel level constraints and infrastructure gaps. How would you create an effective system to collect students' concerns and ensure that these issues are consistently followed up with the relevant authorities?
Okay. सो फॉर दैट लाइक मैंने अपने स्पीच में भी इसका मेंशन किया था. लाइक हम कुछ हॉस्टल्स में हाई स्पीड इंटरनेट कनेक्टिविटी नहीं है, तो उसके लिए हम इंटरनेट को अपग्रेड करने का सोच सकते हैं. उससे ये होगा कि हम अपने लैब का डेटा अपने रूम पे बैठे हुए उसको एक्सेस कर सकते हैं. बट कुछ डेटा ऐसे होते हैं जिनका साइज़ ज़्यादा होता है एंड उसके लिए हमको हाई स्पीड इंटरनेट चाहिए होता है. तो उसको एड्रेस करने के लिए हम एक पॉलिसी इम्प्लीमेंट हो, इसके लिए हम एक फॉर्म फ्लोट कर सकते हैं और सारे जो कम्युनिटी है, पीजी कम्युनिटी, पीएचडी कम्युनिटी, उनके सारे फीडबैक कलेक्ट कर सकते हैं और कलेक्टिवली उसको आगे अथॉरिटीज़ को पास ऑन कर सकते हैं. सो दिस इज़ हाउ I will implement this thing.
Okay, please pass the mic to Nikhil. Next question for Nikhil. You propose 24/7 access to the central library and increased weekend bus frequency for students. How would you coordinate with the institute administration and relevant departments to address operational challenges such as security, staffing, and scheduling?
सबसे पहले मैं बस रिलेटेड बात करूँगा. उसके लिए मैं एक प्रपोजल रेडी करूँगा कि सिटीज़ के अलग एरियाज़ में बस का रूट एक्सटेंड हो जाए और फ्रीक्वेंसी भी वीकेंड टाइम में एक्सटेंड हो जाए, और वो प्रपोजल में रिस्पेक्टिव बोर्ड से एस्टेब्लिशमेंट डिपार्टमेंट के लिए भेज दूंगा, उससे कि हम बस के रूट्स और फ्रीक्वेंसी बढ़ा सके. और रिगार्डिंग लाइब्रेरी, मैं ये ट्राई करूँगा कि लास्ट टाइम भी ये इशू हुआ था कि एजेंडा था एक किसी का कि 24/7 लाइब्रेरी होनी चाहिए, बट ये नहीं हो पाया था. मैं ट्राई करूँगा कि ये हो जाए. अगर नहीं हुआ तो एटलीस्ट मैं ट्राई करूँगा कि एक्सटेंड हो जाए रिस्पेक्टिव डिपार्टमेंट एंड एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन से बात करके. उसके लिए मैं एक फीडबैक भी लूँगा स्टूडेंट से कि कितने टाइम तक एक्सटेंड करना चाहिए, और उसके लिए मैं फिर फीडबैक लेके एडमिशन को वो सबमिट कर दूँगा.
Okay, thank you. Next question for Tejas. You aim to strengthen research and industry integration for PG students by improving the visibility of internships and collaborations. What kind of platform or system would you create to effectively disseminate these opportunities across departments?
Okay, so first of all, the problem is really big. As far as I know, there are so many ongoing opportunities, but a lot of times students are unable to know about it. So even if they know about it, there is a lack of opportunity for the students, because the financial issue comes into the place in terms of doing the research work, attending the conference. So we can bring transparency over here with the policies, else we can have a fund which can be used in order to help them. And for the part of industrial integration, we can do multiple workshops which is industry oriented, along with a lot of hackathons which will tell the students about the ongoing industrial trends, as well as it will also help them with the research work and the placement part as well.
Okay, thank you. Next question for Pallab. Your agenda highlights strengthening industry connections and exchange opportunities for PG students, particularly in HSS and foundational sciences. What specific initiatives would you introduce to ensure students from these departments receive better exposure?
Right. So what happens generally these days, like being an IIT graduate and being a student at IIT, there is more focus towards technical departments, particularly BTech, MTech, as well as other branches. So these two branches like HSS as well as the foundational sciences, which includes MSc, particularly they lack this industrial exposure. Like during our UG time, there used to happen a industrial connect. Like we used to visit, like me being a mechanical engineer, we used to visit different companies, different organizations like steel plants and ONGCs and others. So we get an industrial exposure, and that eventually brings us to have a good networking well before placements and internship. So now in HSS department particularly, what happens, like we get placements at NGOs and different CSR initiatives. So this can be bridged by having an industrial connect, or we can have a connect with different organizations who are working. Like there is a organization named Pradhan, so we can have a pre-industrial connect before getting into internship. Same happens with MSc people generally land up in edtech companies. So many people, while interacting and making agendas for them, we found that they are lacking skills of teaching, they are lacking skills of actually expressing things. So this can be easily tackled by having an exposure, like jointly working with the companies who are coming for placements, directly collaborating with CCD and Gensec sale. We can eventually bridge this gap. So this is how the whole like agenda will be fulfilled, and we'll also be jointly working with different other alumni, and that is how it will go. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Next question for Disha. You plan to organize structured workshops on research methodology, thesis writing, and competitive exams like NET and GATE. How would you ensure that these workshops remain accessible and useful for PG students from different academic backgrounds?
Yeah, I feel that these workshops are really important. And the PG students regularly don't attend these workshops. So I want these workshops to be more interactive and more interesting, so that they come up with their confusions, because these days these competitive exams are really important for us, and I feel they have a lot of confusions to how to practically prepare for these exams. So I will connect with the sale board and then conduct this workshop on the timings where the PG students are available, and I will ensure that they get the information and they know the real value if they come and attend these workshops. So by coordinating with different boards, I will ensure that this agenda gets fulfilled. Thank you.
Okay. Next question for Virendra. You aim to promote academic industry collaboration and international research exposure. What initiatives would you introduce to ensure PG students can access these opportunities more easily?
Firstly, more industrial tie-ups will, like our CCD and sale is doing. We will work together to contact the collaborations and industrial tie-ups and research organizations to get the more opportunities for the PG students. And for conferences like national level and international level conferences, there is main important thing is like budget, the fund. There is a fund named staff student travel assistant fund, but it gives only up to 50,000. Like my aim is to give a proposal to the dean to increase the uh, uh, travel assistant fund, and I like there should be a like I want to create a centralized conference calendar, so the student get easily get the information about the conferences like which will gonna happen in the other IITs, national or international universities. So and time to time information sessions will organize for the students to get better knowledge or information about the conferences. And okay, thank you.
Please pass the mic to Partha. So next question for Partha. Your agenda includes advocating for an increase in the annual contingency grant for PG and PhD scholars. What approach would you take to present this demand to the institute administration and justify the need for higher funding?
So the amount for contingency grant that we are receiving is very less. Like for PG students, the contingency grant that we are receiving is 3,200, and for PhD is 5,000. And taking into consideration of inflation that's happening, the amount that we are receiving is very less. And also institute like IIT Delhi, IIT Madras, they are giving the contingency grant more than IIT Guwahati. Like in the IIT Kanpur, the PG and PhD students, for PG students, they are getting 10,000. If the institute like IIT Kanpur can get more contingency grant than us, then why the students of IIT Guwahati can't receive such amount? So to make these agendas correct, what we can do is like we can approach the academic affairs, and via the help of academic affairs we can propose these ideas to the director. And by doing the analysis, like spending analysis of the students, we can approach and we can make the things happen in future.
Okay, thank you. Next question for Bikram. You suggest strengthening campus shuttle services, including nighttime connectivity for students working late in labs. How would you coordinate with the institute administration to ensure both safety and reliability in these services?
So actually, previously there was shuttle bus service so inside the campus. So now it has gone. So actually, for research scholar and most of the PG student, they do late night research work. Sometime due to heavy monsoon weather, so it is quite difficult for us to go in home as a room as well as go to lab. So this sometimes it is quite challenging. So I will put this agenda in Senate meeting, student Senate meeting, then it will pass to VP to academic Senate meeting, then it will be coordinated to that, though this facility again can be retained from this institute side. So that will be helpful for our students also. So that is, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next question for Samvir. You have proposed formally advocating for an increase in the MTech stipend within the first week of election. Given that stipend policies are often decided at national or institute levels, what strategy would you adopt to effectively push this demand through the institute administration?
First of all, thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak here. I thank the Darshan and his team. So basically, the agenda that I have put forward is that the stipend should not be deducted. That I have made in a poster also. My agenda was to ensure that the money doesn't get deducted, because right now we know that money cannot be increased unless there is pass from the union government, and I will ensure that there is a deduction in money from all the department. In most of the department, even if you don't give the biometric, even for one day, they deduct 400. So I will ensure that I will ensure that if the person is not going consecutive 4 days or 5 days, then they should definitely deduct the money. But just for one day not going and not giving the biometric scan, they cannot just deduct 400. It is a prestige and dignity that we come here in IIT after giving MTech. After we have cleared the gate and after doing jobs, after doing 5 years of experience, many of our MTech and the MBA, they have done their BTech and they have joined the MBA. So I think they should not deduct their money. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Next question for Kumar Atul. Your agenda mentions exam reforms focusing more on practical and industry-oriented learning rather than memorization. What specific changes would you advocate within the academic system to move towards this model?
Yeah, exactly. So one of the major challenges our classes and faculties are facing, like the lack of students inside the classroom. So I would like to address upon those issues that if despite of having a very talented and a very research oriented pool of academicians in the campus, they are not able to attract the students inside the classroom, and that is one of the major challenges they are facing. So I want to reform the examination pattern in order to make the education a very, not a monologue kind of thing, but a dialogue, a very engaging kind of thing. I personally, I'm a kind of person who attend all the lectures. I attend all the tutorial, and I'm also attend all the labs. But sometimes I also feel that कि despite like कुछ प्रोफेसर्स ऐसा करते हैं कि अटेंडेंस इंश्योर करने के लिए वो पर्टिकुलर परसेंटेज ऑफ मार्क्स रख देते हैं, लेकिन वो सर्व नहीं करने वाला है इस पर्पज को. तो करने क्या वाला है कि हम लोग एक डिपार्टमेंट ओरिएंटेड, इंडस्ट्री सेंट्रिक, इस तमाम तरह की चीज़ों को जब हम लोग इंटीग्रेट करेंगे अपने एकेडमिक्स में, तो टीचर से स्टूडेंट का रिलेशनशिप बेटर होगा, इंगेजमेंट बढ़ेगा, और सिर्फ हम एक रात पहले रट के जाके या फिर चैट जीपीटी या फिर कोई भी एआई टूल का इस्तेमाल करके फटाक से चीज़ों को कवर करने के बजाय हम लोग एक कंटिन्यूअसली लर्निंग प्रोसेस के अंदर रहें. दैट्स माय एजेंडा. थैंक यू.
So now we are starting with the second segment. Who chairs the student senate?
3, 2, 1. Pallab, answer that.
VP.
Thank you.
Okay. Second one. What percentage of senate support is needed to amend tax statutes?
3, 2, 1. Nikhil, you'll answer that question.
3/4.
Okay.
Thank you.
What is the composition of the senate session?
3, 2, 1. Abhijit.
Senate session, VP, Dean of Student Affairs, Associate Deans. Yes, sir.
Skip.
Okay. Next one. How often are senate meetings normally held?
3, 2, 1. Mithun. Once per semester.
Once per semester.
Cool. Thank you.
So next one. What is the mechanism for removing an executive via the senate?
3, 2, 1. Virendra.
To remove an executive, there is a voting in the Senate that more than 50% votes can.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Next question.
So next one. What is the practical difference between the authority of a senator and the authority of an executive member?
3, 2, 1. Pallab.
The authority of an executive is to work on ground, and PG senator is to give the voice of the people, like the PG as well as the UGs.
Okay.
Thank you.
Next one. What are the different subcommittees and what is their authority?
3, 2, 1. Virendra.
Like there are PG Senate and UG Senate and General Secretaries, and VP is the head of all this, and there is a Dean of Student Affair who is the head of all this chain.
Thank you.
So last one. The statutes mention that if at least 1/3 of a senators request it, an issue can be referred to the general body. In what type of situations should such a large scale consultation with the general body be used?
3, 2, 1. Well, Sam will get this.
In case of a fake hike, so last year there was a fake hike. So in that case, there was such kind of meeting was held. Thank you.
Okay, this was candidate spotlight for the positions of PG senators. Thank you.